Before we move away from these baseball figures to show you the rest of the sports picks along the wall here and to the back of the basement, just want to remain back here in the corner for a second to reflect on a trend I noticed with these baseball figures here in 2005 and down here in 2006. And before I comment on the trend, just want to address my viewership here to say, first off, thank you again for viewing my video and sticking with it. I hope it's been informative and at least mildly entertaining up to this point. And I just want you guys to know that when I'm making these videos, I am really trying to consider who my viewership might be and how diverse my viewership might be. From one end of the spectrum, viewing my video could be veteran collectors like myself who have been collecting these figures for 20 years and can say, yeah, I know what you're talking about because I, been there, done that. I have the same interest in them as you. Guys like the usual suspects, Mo, Chad, Carm, JB, Kenny, Jason, and people of that ilk. And then going to the other end of that spectrum, which could be, people watching my video like my Aunt Val and her 97 or 98-year-old mother, my Nana Rose. And so they have no idea about these figures and are learning about them for the first time through my video. So once again, no matter who you are or everybody in between them, thanks for watching so far. And getting back to the trend I want to comment on with these baseball figures. Here we see the Series 5 and the Series 6. Okay, so these figures are now releasing right around the years 2005, 2006. And I can remember collecting these back then. You didn't really know what lay ahead of you the next 13, 14 years that Todd McFarlane was going to produce these baseball figures. But if I can zone in on just four in particular figures here, starting with this Torrey Hunter of the Minnesota Twins, Jason Kendall of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Trevor Hoffman of the San Diego Padres, and Mike Sweeney of the Kansas City Royals. If you're a fan of any of these four teams, unfortunately, for the next decade plus, there's not going to be much coming down the pike. There really isn't. Because Todd did not make very many figures of small market teams. For the Minnesota Twins, this Hunter figure released in 2005. After that, it would just be the Yohan Santana and Joe Mauer figures for the next 12 to 13 years. Nothing else from the Twins. Jason Kendall from the Pirates. Many years later, Andrew McCutchen figure. Trevor Hoffman of the Padres, Jake Pavey, we've seen him already, and another Trevor Hoffman figure. And down here, Mike Sweeney of the Royals, just Bo Jackson, George Brett, and a Johnny Damon retro chase figure. And that's it. Because the truth of the matter is, once again, Todd McFarlane for the next decade plus would really focus player selection on big market teams, with two in particular. The Yankees and the Red Sox, by far, had the most figures produced of them. After those two would be like the Cubs, the Mets, and then after the Mets, the Cubs and the Mets and the Dodgers, then would be like the next tier of teams, which would be like the Phillies and maybe the Cardinals. But for the most part, again, it was big market teams with not much player selection at all from the smaller markets.